evening, everyone. So, excuse the mess. It is a work day or weekday work day, so I haven't had time to do a lot of things because I've been at work all day. So tonight I'm going to do another meal from the Great Depression. This is supposed to feed 4 to 5 people. I figure worst case scenario, they can have a bowl of cereal if they're still hungry or whatever. But this is supposed to feed 4 to 5 people with a full belly. So you only use half an onion, 2 potatoes, like I think it was 4 hot dogs, and then a couple seasonings and stuff. So, but we'll get into that when we start cooking it. So the first thing that you want to do is peel your potatoes. This is called the poor man's meal. And then on Sundays they had what was called the poor man's feast. And basically what they did is on Sundays they celebrated making it through another week. So they would add a few things to their meal. They had a different menu, but they had the poor man's meal and then the poor man's feast. So anyway, what you want to do is you want to cube up your potatoes. Get this potato done real quick. So just out of curiosity, I'm wondering if I'm the only person. So if you're doing it too, please leave a comment in the comments box just so that I know I'm not like the only crazy person out here. You know, we're getting really close to spring and we've started our seeds, and so we've got, you know, some that are sprouting, but others, you know, that aren't quite ready to sprout yet. So it's like, even though you know that it's going to take X number of days or whatever for your seeds to sprout, we've also got eggs in the incubator, and you know that that's going to take X number of days for them to hatch. Am I the only person that checks them every day? Sometimes multiple times a day. You're like, have you sprouted? Have you hatched? Have you sprouted? Have you hatched? I don't know. I'm just curious if I'm like the only person that does that, even though you know you've still got days to go. So if I'm not, let me know in the comments box. That would be awesome. Tell you what, I've really enjoyed reading a lot of the different recipes that they did, you know, during World War II and the Great Depression, just to kind of see how they made their meals stretch so far, you know, with so many people on a limited supply. And it really goes to show how wasteful we are, or entitled we've become. So, alright, so I've got the potatoes done, or peeled. And I'm going to go ahead and peel half of this onion. Now remember, when you do your onions, don't throw away your peelings or your ends or anything like that. The reason why is because you can do a couple different things with your onion peels. One, you can make an onion broth. Or if you put it in a stock pot with, like, oops, other vegetable like clippings, you know, like the ends of your bell peppers or carrots or anything like that, you can make a vegetable broth. When you do your chicken broth, you can add these into the stock pot with your chicken broth as well, so that you can have more flavor with your chicken broth. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with your onion peels. Now, if you don't make your own broth, you can put them in your compost. I don't feed the onions to my chickens, but you can put them in your compost and use them that way. So do not throw away your onion peels. Your potato peels can go to, you can do a couple different things with potato peels. You can either throw them in your compost, or you can actually, you know, like if I took, say, this long one, whatever, and I broke it into pieces like that, you can actually rub oil on those and make potato skin chips out of them. Alrighty, let me finish getting this onion cut up, and then we will go over to the stove and show you how it is put together. Remember, you only use half an onion for this. These are really big onions, so I don't even know if I'm going to use the full half. So we will go from there. So we will, let me get this together and we will head over to the stove. Okay, so in a skillet, you put a spoonful of oil, whether you use olive oil, Crisco, whatever kind of oil you have. We have the lard that we rendered from our pig. So you're going to cook the potatoes up until they're, you know, browned and soft, you know, like you would do for hash browns. So we're going to let these cook. I've already got the onion cut up. You know, by doing it this way, if you follow the recipe, like I said, it's supposed to be 4 to 5 people, and you can only use 4 hot dogs, that would basically, one package of hot dogs would make 2 dinners. They used a lot of potato and onion in their recipes, that is for sure. So I'm just going to slice up these hot dogs while this is cooking. Okay, there's one. You know, I can actually see how this is going to feed that many people. I was a little hesitant at first because it just doesn't look like much. I mean, there's 3 ingredients other than the spices. And I thought, how in the world is that going to feed that many people? There's 2 hot dogs. As soon as I cut up the 4th, I'm going to get a measuring cup, because I'm curious as to how many cups of hot dogs this equals to. There's 3. And there's 4. There's an onion. Let me grab a measuring cup. Alright, so this is a 2-cup measuring cup. So that basically comes out to about 1.5 cups of hot dog. Wow, that's crazy. Alright, so I'm going to let these potatoes cook for a little bit and get nice and brown and soft and... Oh! Potato overboard. And clean up my mess, and as soon as these potatoes are ready to add everything else, we will be back and add the rest of the stuff. Okay, so the potatoes are browned. We're going to put the onions in first. It is a lot of onion. I don't know that I should have used that much, just because of how big those onions were. Because it just says half an onion. It doesn't specify if the onion was small, medium, large. So yeah, this is going to have a lot of onion in it. I probably should have just used half of that. So, while these onions are browning, or sauteing, they did salt. I'm just going to do a tiny bit because I don't really eat salt. Pepper. And parsley. Alright, so then stir that in. And you're going to let this saute for a little bit while the onions cook. Because the hot dogs are pretty much already cooked. We're basically just going to warm those up in there. So we're going to let this cook for a minute and let those onions caramelize, and we will be right back. Okay, so the onions are translucent. Now we're going to add the hot dogs. So basically this was 2 potatoes, half an onion, and 4 hot dogs, which equals 1.5 cups of hot dogs. You're just going to mix this around until the hot dogs are warmed up. Now I did see a couple variations of this one as well, just like I did with the breakfast. And some of them, they did a little bit of tomato sauce in it. Others did a hot sauce. But I kind of questioned if they really had all that. So what I thought I would do, because most of the recipes I saw like this didn't have the tomato sauce or the hot sauce added. So what I thought I would do is just go ahead and make it without, and we would try it, and then if we just feel like we need to add something at that point, we'll, you know, add ketchup or hot sauce or something then. But let me turn that up just a little bit. Are they hot? Not quite. Alright, so I'm going to get this plated up and we will taste it and see what we think about the Great Depression poor man's meal. Okay, let's check this out. It looks good. Except I do think that's like way too many onions. So if you have a large onion, I would probably just do maybe 1/4 of it. Are you super hungry? Yeah.
Yes. This is a busy day at work.
Okay. So this probably would have been like 2 people's servings. So that'd been 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I could see how that would feed 5 people. They also would eat a slice of bread with it. We're not going to. So that was probably the added filler. We need forks. Okay, so we're going to try it first without any topping on it. And then we'll try, if we need to put topping on it, we will. Okay, boss, here's your bowl.
Takes me
I
back to
don't
my
think I see you.
childhood. Shit. You don't need to put any toppings on it. Yeah, this definitely takes me back to childhood.
You don't have to put a topping on it, but I think I would want ketchup on mine. It is a little dry, but it's not bad at all. It definitely does have too many onions. But anyway, you could, you know, if you have ketchup or hot sauce or whatever, you could always top it with that if you wanted to. But I hope you all enjoyed this recipe of the poor man's dinner from the Great Depression. I hope you continue to join us on our journey. We're going to try to be making a lot of different meals from the Great Depression, just to kind of get an idea of what they ate and what we like and don't like, and you know, I don't know, I think it's cool to try new recipes. So hopefully you'll stick with us and join us for more videos. But once again, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit us up on Instagram, and remember, every day is a new beginning. Stay blessed.